I've been asked, what's the difference between an Eccles cake and a Chorley cake? It's not just the pastry. Eccles cakes come from Eccles in Manchester, and Chorley cakes come from where I live in Lancashire. Eccles cakes are delicious. Chorley cakes not. They're just not. I'm sorry, but they're just not. I'm sorry I live here, but they're just not. Anyway, the main difference is the pastry. Eccles cakes are made with puff pastry or flaky pastry, and Chorley cakes are made with short crust pastry. Eccles cakes have sugar on the top. Chorley cakes have nothing on the top, and you spread them with a bit of butter. I am not keen on Chorley cakes. I did come second place in a Chorley Lancashire Chorley cakes competition. How? I have no idea, because I'm a dirty southerner. But anyway, that's another story. So today we're going to be making some Eccles cakes because they are delicious. What I have done first of all is I have got a bowl of fruit already made. So in a saucepan, I melted 50 grams of butter. To that, I added 50 grams of soft brown sugar, and then I added 350 grams of fruit. Now, it's dried fruit. So traditionally, it would be currants, but most people don't like currants. They're too hard, they're too crunchy. So what I've done is I've done a mixture of 50-50 raisins and sultanas, and I just love it. They juice up and they're fat and fluffy and plump. And to that, I've also added a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And the last thing that I'm going to add in is some lemon. Now, you could grate the zest of a lemon, but what else do you do with the lemon? You could use it for your G&T, but I think it is better to use or 1 cupful. So the fruit, I have melted the sugar and the butter together. Make sure it's butter. Don't skimp on this and use margarine. Use proper butter. And then I've added my fruit, and I cook it for about another 30 seconds to a minute, and it puffs it all up and plumps it. And then I add in my cinnamon, and then finally, as you can see, I've added in my lemon. And I have now left that to go cold, because you want this cold for when you put it on your pastry. Second cheat, that's number one. Second cheat, I am using ready-made, ready-rolled puff pastry. You could make it yourself. Why you'd want to bother is beyond me, but you could. So what I'm going to do is just unroll it nice and easy. There's no faffing around with this, but it's the topping that takes this from boring to boom. So unroll it on your sheet. One sheet. I like to bring it up to room temperature. And then I have got a cutter. I'm going to do fairly big ones because I'm a greedy person and I like big ones. But you could do small ones. It really is up to you. And you will get another one out of this. So I'm going to get 6 straight ones. And then I should, if I do the pastry correctly, oops, I should get another 1 or 2 at least. What you're going to do is, if you fold the pastry on top of each other, like that, and then on like that again, and then like that again. Okay, so you make the layers back on top of each other. You can roll this back out again and get at least another 2. All right, so don't just throw it away or waste it or use it for something else. Fold it back up on top of each other and get another 2. I'm not going to bother because we're going to have enough with these 6 here, but you make it extra. Put them back onto your paper. The paper's fantastic. And I've got a few sticky ones, so I'm going to turn it upside down so that the sticky is on the inside and the good is on the outside. There we go. Okay, next bit is you're going to use a little bit of water to just wet half of the edge. You don't need it on all of it, just on half of the edge. Perfect. Just like that. And then we're going to use our fruit. A lovely fruit. Don't skimp with this. You want a great big fat spoonful. So that isn't quite enough. It smells divine. I wish you could smell this. It really smells delicious. A little bit more. Okay. Loads on, and then pick it up and just use your fingers to squash that very gently together. The reason you needed it cold is because it would melt the pastry. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it so that it catches like that, comes up again. So you've got like a little parcel and you're keeping it enclosed. And then you can just bring those bits in like that. So you've then made basically a little round shape. You're not going to use a rolling pin, you don't need to. So just make it nice and round with your hand and squash it until it comes back flat. Just gently. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to do the rest of them nice and fast. Oh, I've done that bit already. Silly me. Like a big spoonful, just like that. Yeah, you don't want to skimp with this. Push it together and then use your pastry. So into the middle first, side, side, and then the last 8 stars. Okay, so you're sealing it. Turn it upside down, make it nice and round again, and then flatten it gently with your palm. Just like that. So this is my last one. I've actually managed to get another 4 out of my re-rollings. So I'm very happy because there's nothing better than a warm Eccles cake directly out of the oven. Okay, so my last one, same as before. Pinch the 2 halves together, give it a little squeeze, side in, just like that. And then this is where the magic happens. And this is what elevates an Eccles from a boring Chorley cake. And I'm sure that the people of Chorley will be shouting at me by now going, there's now wrong with our Chorley cake. Spread with best butter on top. Ready for a mill. Probably going to get lots of hate mail. Anyway, okay. What you need is an egg white. I've got white eggs. I've never had white eggs before. But this silly COVID has knocked out my brown eggs and given me white eggs. Save your egg yolk for another day. Make it into custard. And what you're going to do is you're going to beat up your egg white until it's frothy. And this is important. You need to do this bit. So a little bit of froth going on. And you're also going to need a plate of granulated sugar. Don't use caster, don't use brown, use granulated. And what you're going to be doing is, I've got a tray here with my Eccles cakes already onto it, and they're all flattened and the fruit is starting to come through a little bit, but it's not poking all the way through all the way through. So, take your Eccles cake, dunk it upside down into your egg white so that it's on the top, dunking it into your sugar, and then slap it onto your tray. So, upside down into your egg white, give it a little shake off, into your sugar, onto your tray, and carry on doing those. And then what you need to do is you need to give them some air holes. So a knife, I haven't got a knife with me. Ooh, no knife, I've forgotten to get my knife out. And then all you're going to do is do this on the tray, not on your hand. Just give them 3 little markings on the top. This is the traditional bit. And then these are going to go into a really hot oven, 180 on a fan, about 200 on a regular, and they'll go in until they're brown and crispy. Now I'm going to see how long these take. Yours will take different times depending on how big or how small you make them, but these should take between 15 and 20 minutes. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and then I'll pop them into the oven and I'll come back. My Eccles cakes are out of the oven and they are smelling divine. Okay. Inside, oh, that's the bottom. It's kept it all in, and they are full of fruit. Look at that topping. Don't they look gorgeous? Ooh. Guess what I'm going to be doing for the next half an hour? Sat in a dark corner, me, myself and my Eccles cake. Oh, see you soon.